Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Off the Lip Radio Show number 937, which is live tonight from the
Santa Cruz boardroom.
from the Santa Cruz boardroom. We've been hosting these shows for like 4 years now, maybe 5 years, and having the time of our life.
Been great.
Like the last show we did, we couldn't show it because it was just too. What's the word? Risque, TC? Risque?
No, it was not that. It was just
Drunk and debauchery?
It was traumatic.
Traumatic. It was
Yeah.
very traumatic. And tonight we have. She came on. This is Jeanette Bent.
Hello.
And to me, she's an aerialist. But I saw online the other day on some. She's going to be a former aerialist, or she's going to be a news anchor with KION channel. Whatever channel is it?
Well, channel 46, but you can get it at 4 here locally.
46 or 4. News anchor.
Love it. I watch it on YouTube.
Oh, awesome. I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear it. Yeah, so we stream online as well.
Mm-hmm.
So wait a minute, how'd you get aerialist? How'd you get the gig? Was it advertised or like? How'd you get the gig?
Yeah, how'd I go from here to like
Yeah.
here? Okay, so I came from being a managing editor at a different paper here. I'm sure you guys have heard of Good Times Santa Cruz.
Good times?
Good
You
Times.
got that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Metro Silicon Valley. So I was simultaneously managing both papers. And as much as I loved it, that was two jobs, so it was a lot to handle. So I started to kind of look at what my options were, and very, very low down the list, because they had posted this managing editor anchor position at KION back in August, but there were no qualified candidates. So it wasn't high ranking. I had to kind of dig for it. And I was like, oh, you know what? I have a performative background and a journalist background, and I could totally do this. So I applied at the end of January, and they were vetting me, and then they created the position for me, and then did all the nuts and bolts, and so I'm finally in the position.
So it's one thing. How was the test you did? Give us a little demonstration of what you had to do.
Well, an interview much like this,
Yep.
via Zoom,
Okay.
was the first one,
Yep.
with the news director, Scott.
Yeah. So interview me.
Interview you.
Yeah.
Neil,
Yeah.
how long have you been hosting Off the Lip Radio?
Me and TC have been hosting the show for about 10 years.
So, was I one of your first guests when you
You
did
were.
the show?
I think it was early on you came on.
Yeah, I think that was
You're good with this.
2015.
You're good with this, TC.
Natural. She's natural.
Because I forget that. I'd be like, right?
What microphone?
What was your question?
I came on the show in 2015.
Yeah.
When did you officially start the show? It came
Who's show
KCO.
2010?
It's no, I don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
A long
See,
time ago.
we don't remember shit.
Great. Where do you broadcast to?
Oh, that's a good show. All the podcast platforms,
Okay.
YouTube, and my website.
And
OffTheRadio.com.
and on Santa Cruz Waves Facebook page.
And on
we
Santa
have-
Cruz Waves Facebook page.
we
And
have-
Off the Radio Show Facebook page. It goes everywhere.
We have a lot of people actually watching right now on Santa Cruz Waves.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hi, Santa Cruz Waves.
Hi, Jessica, who's watching, by the way.
And we have a lot
Jessica.
of stories. Some can be told, some can't be told.
I imagine.
But
what
a
you
lot
guys
of fun has been had. Libations and laughter and crying.
Oh, so you guys get deep.
We get deep, and a lot of people who come on our show are not around anymore.
True
We
that.
just talked about that earlier, but
Yeah.
we talk about people who are not around anymore. It's just sad.
It is sad. It's a different Santa Cruz than it was 10 years ago.
Are you done interviewing me? Good.
I
Glad
just
you
kind
are.
of like we phased out of that.
So the area is still a big thing. I know a couple of people I know still do it.
Oh
and-
yeah, I owe like 3 or 4 people text messages, but I'm here doing a lovely show, so I'm not.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Are you supposed to be doing?
If there's any mermaids out there, hit me up. I just got asked to do a mermaid gig, and I have mermaid tails. So.
So do you
Is that
Actually,
an aerialist mermaid?
well, so aerialist, but also entertainment. So I do have a company, a production company, and I think I was just
still have
starting
that?
it.
Do you still have the thing over there on the west side?
The
That
studio.
studio?
So get a load of this one. You know how there's an aerial studio in your store in the mall?
Mm-hmm.
That's my old studio. So Cirque Tumble
Oh.
Cheer, yeah. That when I was working at the museum in the mall, they were in fear of losing their location because of Front Street's demolition, basically. And so I got them the space in the mall, and they're thriving over there. So that's my old studio. Yet there is still 2 other studios that popped up as derivatives of Aerialite Santa
Yeah,
Cruz.
yeah.
One is Radical Movement Factory in my old location.
What's it called?
Radical Movement Factory.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever went to the west side and visited my location, but they're in the old building, and then the other is Steel and Grace down the hall from there, and that's the pole studio.
Okay.
That's Santa Cruz.
So is this more popular?
I would say just
It's growing.
yeah. If Santa
You
Cruz
got to
can
be
sustain
so
3
strong.
studios,
You got to
yeah.
be super strong.
Pretty strong. Yeah. Okay. So I'm notorious for I did this with Matthew Swinnerton when he interviewed me.
Yeah.
I like showed my guns,
was a
and
gun
I'm like,
show?
I'll have a
Hey,
friend
hey,
who's gonna
hey,
get.
hey.
Okay, I can't roll the thing up here. Go ahead.
Oh, we can roll them up.
You can roll 'em up.
You got some guns?
Yeah. I have some guns. Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Kristen, shout out.
we're-
She's gonna be so.
We're zooming in.
I have a friend who's like,
Oh,
why
look
do
at
you
those.
show your guns? Why do you keep
We're
doing
zooming in
this?
on the gun show.
Okay. Oh Lord, this is embarrassing. All right.
Huh.
I did have arm day yesterday, so hopefully.
Your arm day? Damn!
All right.
So I am still an aerialist. Just want to clear the air there. I just don't have a lot of time.
Can you explain aerialist?
I can explain
Yeah,
aerialist.
for some of the people watching.
Yeah, it's performers who prefer to dance in the air rather than on the ground. So you can really do anything and be an aerialist. Like you see that U.S. Army helicopter hanging from the ceiling over there. If I were to attach some silks from there and start performing on that, would be an aerialist. Something
Gotcha.
to do. It's not safe. Don't do that type of thing, people.
But there's different ways. So you mentioned the silk, and we've seen that with like Cirque du Soleil
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
But then bars too, and
Yeah, you can do bars. The equipment that I have are aerial hoops, so the hoop, crescent moon. I've got cube, sphere. I know that Cirque Tumble Cheer has a heart. It's really cute. You can essentially perform on anything that's safe to rig.
did you go to the circus at the Capitola Mall?
At Flynn Creek?
Yeah, Flynn Creek.
Yeah, I know about them, yeah.
Yeah, because they have a lot of aerialists. That's a big part of their routine.
Yep.
They were good, I thought. They
Yeah.
were pretty talented.
Yeah, they do, and they weave in a lot of comedy through their show,
Yes.
which is nice.
So you can do anything on the news channel as far as reading the news behind the desk is like it's been done before forever. Is there anything? Can you do something?
Like deliver it upside down like a bat?
Yes.
Or
You would get people watching. You would get people watching.
Right.
Right?
I would love to. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty. What's really great about the news station too is that they're an affiliate of Fox, so it's a larger, but they're family owned, and so they really let us run the newsroom. So it's been really nice. We can really hyper focus on local stuff and that sort of thing, and it's a really. So yeah, probably one day I could probably do something like that.
Something
Yeah.
new. And do you use your own name?
I do. I use Jeanette Bent. Yeah.
Okay.
So Bent is my legal married name, but it's also my performance name. It just happens to be that my husband's last name was Bent.
Okay.
That worked out really well. My pen name is Prather only because by the time I had married him, I had already published hundreds of articles and a couple books and things like that under that maiden name, so I kept that. So when I was at Good Times, for example, the masthead, which is the staff box, the masthead in journalism, had Jeanette Prather.
Okay.
And
Same
when,
person.
when will we see you on KION?
After May 10th, that is, oh my God. So if you watch the show on May 10th
Yeah.
and everything horribly goes wrong, yours truly effed everything
Because
up.
are you doing the board or something for that
I'm
one?
producing. That's when the news director wants me to be on my own, producing my own show. So if you watch on May 10th and everything goes horribly wrong, you can be like, oh, yeah.
So when we have 1,000.
But it'll be after that.
We have 1,000 show coming up. Do you think we can get on KION?
We could probably figure out some sort of local segment. Yeah.
Some kind of local segment.
Yeah.
1,000. It is coming up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming
Which is
right up.
incredible to think we've done 1,000 shows.
It is
Yeah.
incredible. It is incredible. Is that
Yeah.
from day one?
Day
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on our
Yeah,
1,000th
never a
show.
bad word, never.
We've
Nothing.
never argued once. Yeah.
Well,
One time I told you
it
this.
pissed me off.
Because he split up for a date, and we had a 20-piece band here that wanted to
Shit.
stay and smoke pot and drink beer for 4 hours. And I called him up. I'm like, you can't skip out that date next time. Yeah.
Wait, did you just? Wait, let's rewind a little bit. Did I just hear you say no bad words?
No, we can. No, at the radio you couldn't do no bad
Yeah,
words.
Yeah,
Okay.
he can swear.
I know all about FCC regulations.
Yeah,
He
especially
can say
now.
whatever the fuck you want.
That's why, yeah.
I was like, wait, that's a big lie, right there.
Well,
No
and we
bad
couldn't
words.
have drinks at the radio station,
No.
FCC, and so...
Couldn't swear, no drinking,
Oh, it's-
and
and the scheduling. Because we get bands, and we go to KSCO and have a band, and then there's another show.
Yeah.
And we got to get this band out of the studio. It's impossible.
Yeah.
yeah. So now we have a lot of bands here.
Yeah.
Do you remember, because of this guy here, because of Neil, I had my own KSCO show for like 6 months. Do you remember that?
Did, that's right.
Yeah. In the air tonight with
That's
you
right.
came up with the name.
In the air tonight.
Yeah.
I came up with the name too.
Yeah, you came up with the name.
Genius, TC.
I'm telling you.
And
You're in
I
the wrong industry.
I had some good people.
Did Phil
on
Collins
the show.
call you up and ask for some?
That's what it was, because we had the Phil Collins, remember? And
Yeah.
we had that role. It was so funny. Yeah, I loved it.
That was right.
And then when I realized you had to get advertising and pay for it, I was like, sorry, Rosemary.
Yeah.
True that.
Bye.
But, you know, it's fun that you did that because that studio is so awesome. You know,
It is.
KSEO
It really
is the building, and the history of that building is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Some of the rest of it's terrible, but it goes on there. But the building itself is incredible.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I definitely know that the whole landscape, one of the one of the covers that we had at Good Times was basically the changing landscape in radio, in Santa Cruz radio.
Yeah.
And that was right around the time, I think, K-Squid, KSEO, what was the other one that popped up? Anyway, but a few of them that just kind of morphed into different things. So it is interesting. It's got a lot of history here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do you think you can be you can be down a little when you talking to politicians and stuff like that? Because we've had a lot of politicians that come on the show here, and Kim and I have to remain like down in the middle. Mm-hmm. We've supported one, but Gail Pellerin. But is that they teach you to do that, or you have to remain that way, right? Impartial.
Impartial. Yeah. There is actually, when you go to school for journalism, there's a journalistic code of ethics from what SPJ has. There's a bunch, but SPJ has one, Society of Professional Journalists, and there's a class you have to take called journalistic ethics, and you have to learn how to be non-partial and report accurately and not spin. And they also call us the gatekeepers, like the watchdogs of media and stuff, because we get to determine what goes out there. And as editors, we have even more of a responsibility for that. A reporter package comes to me and it's 15 seconds too long. I'm editing stuff that isn't as relevant to the story as some of the stuff that we're keeping. It's important to get that. But yeah, I have a bachelor's degree in journalism. I went through it. I actually did journalism here in Santa Cruz when I was at Harbor High. I was on the gangplank.
Yeah. You were on the gangplank?
Little Jeanette on the gangplank.
Good for you.
So at KION, did they give you a handbook of the ethics and stuff, or is that?
They give you an employee manual, and that employee manual has snippets of different journals.
We don't have one of those.
We don't have that. Well, it's funny you said that, because I immediately was like, wow, they should give something like that to politicians.
They should.
Because they need a code of ethics, Yeah. And so I was like, wow, just a bunch of people probably need that.
Yeah. Especially nowadays. I feel like politics have gotten wacky, to say a G-rated word.
It's super wacky. And you're going to be so deep into it with the start of your job during an election year. I know. It was weird. I don't know how like woo-woo-y anyone is, but like my first day was actually the eclipse. And that was like, everyone was big deal with that. And I'm like, that's funny. My first day is the eclipse, like technically, and I'm moving into this like really turbulent election year that is arguably more polarized and divisive than 2020, only because we went through 2020 already, so we got on the other side of it. Anyway, but I made a joke to one of my coworkers a couple days ago. I said, well, where do we put the beds? Where do we put the cots? Because we're clearly not going to leave here during this election.
Okay, so
the funniest thing about the election, I'll just say one thing, is that, it was such a corrupt election, unless you won.
Right.
Like, all the winners didn't say, oh, this election was, everyone cheated, it's rigged.
Yeah.
The winners never said that.
Interesting concept, huh?
Yeah, only the losers
Yeah.
say it's rigged. Yeah. And I just think that's amazing. So that this year, after the election, every loser can say it's rigged.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah. I hope they come up with something more creative, though, because that's been done.
Are you nervous about this new job? I mean, I know you have a background of doing performance and theater and stuff.
Yeah, I would say that...
It's live, right? It's live, right?
Yeah, it's live. Yeah. Oh, it's live. I mean, there are certain... you can do something called a look live, which if you have a reporter who is not able to go live for whatever reason on camera during our 5 p.m. broadcast or whatever, they'll film a little bit early. It's not ideal. You want the reporter to be live and see, everything. But they can do something that looks like it will be live, and it's delivered as a package to the producers, and then we filter it into the show.
Is there a dump button? Because like at KSEO, Neil would swear, and we didn't.
We
didn't know where the dump button was.
That's funny. I'm sure there is. I'm really. It's a broadcasting newsroom, so there's all kinds of aux cords and producer buttons and stuff. So I'm sure somewhere along the line there's a dump button.
So you're like 5 seconds behind.
Yeah,
basically. About 7 seconds behind. There's a little TV where we can see what's actually being aired. Like we did a mistake this evening. We were like Frankensteining a show as it was going on. But there was a reporter that was a little late to a package, and so we were moving her later in the segment, and we forgot to move a video. So we queued up the story, which was about one of the last Pearl Harbor vets passing away. But we were showing the Salinas Rodeo preview during that. We were like, oh, cut to break. So there's some of that happens.
Yeah.
you know.
So before the end of the show, we need to see something. What can you do on the ladder? What can we have here? Because no one's been.
I can easily hang upside down. I might be able to.
I'm
if
sorry.
I get my,
Can you hang on to the ladder just
Yeah.
to be spotter?
Yeah.
watch me just take it
Yeah,
down.
bring the
take
camera.
the ladder down.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we doing it now?
Sure.
Okay, well, let me do it.
This is gonna be live.
Of course, because I never leave the house without bringing my grip strength.
And you.
I'll be hanging on the ladder, TC.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I have it in my purse.
These,
Try it.
These ladders spent like 30 years at Mervin's up the street.
Oh yeah, I remember when Mervis was there.
They were in the warehouse at Mervin's, and we repurposed them, and they've been here since we opened.
It's
The
the
last
first time
time-
I've been in an aerial show.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can quickly make sure I can do this thing.
Yeah, I'm
The
holding
last
it.
time I was at Mervin's was when I was a rebellious teenager and my friend was shoplifting and I was an accomplice. And then we were asked not to come back until we were after 18, but then it went away.
That was nice of him.
The rebellious
Now they've got
teenagers.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, I don't know. I'm so not dressed for this, so something
I
pops
know.
out or
Something
falls
pops
off,
out.
you know?
We'll go like this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't even know if I can do this with this. Let's see.
Get the ladder.
Okay. Oh my god. You're gonna hold it?
Yeah,
For real?
I got it.
Okay. Wait, am I gonna kick anything behind me?
Nope, you're good.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna kick anything behind me.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your new KION news.
Here, let me do it on this side. I won't kick your boards. Hopefully.
This is amazing.
I apologize. Did I
TC,
ruin it?
go.
No, you
Okay.
can't hurt any of that stuff. You're good.
So I'm trying to do something called
Okay.
I'm trying to do something called a handspring, but this ladder is like
It
super
moves.
unstable. So if I cheat and if I fall,
I'll
take
catch you.
down Neil.
You know, if
guys
she gets hurt and can't make the show.
Yeah. She's gonna sue me.
Or I just fall on you and you're trapped in the ladder.
I
Good
got
God. Okay, so I may be cheating and using my foot, but I'll
That's
get
fine.
into a position.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm trying to do something called a handspring.
And you and I cannot do this, TC.
No.
Don't try this at home, please. Good God. Okay, so I'm gonna pull.
I got it.
I keep pulling back.
That is the wobbliest ladder ever.
I got it. I'm holding it tight. I'm holding it tight.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna probably fall back into your boards again, but I'll try to
That's
hold
okay.
it.
Tight.
Okay.
Wow.
Ta-da!
Ta-da, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeanette's killing it. Excellent job. Excellent job. I love it. That's amazing.
That was probably one of the weirdest places I've done handspring. I did a handspring in Dearden Station once on like the handrail. I did it also at a stop sign downtown with a square like this. But rickety ladder.
Yes.
Good job.
It takes you two to bring up the crazy in me.
Well, Jeanette, that's a first here on our 1,000 shows. We've never had anyone do aerialists on the
He's
ladder.
gonna call me tomorrow and go, what else? Neil.
I can do all kinds of things. So I hope I really like your boards
No,
look good.
the
They look
boards
good.
are awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have a little aerial experience.
One thing about TC, he's never shocked. He doesn't know who comes on the show.
Okay.
He'll call me the day before and go, who's coming on the show? And I'll tell him, like, what are they doing? And he's like, oh, shit.
We've always had fun.
Yeah.
And so, Jeanette, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck,
Good
man.
luck. Thank
Good
you.
luck in your new career.
Your new career at KION and being a news anchor.
Yeah, that's me.
That is a great position. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you on May 10th.
After May 10th.
After
yes.
May 10th.
And watch the show May 10th and wish me luck.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, congrats again. And thank you for
you.
coming on.
Thank
Neil, 2 shows tonight. Well done.
2 shows tonight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing Don Bostic Friday night.
Yeah, maybe Saturday night we got Don Boston,
That's right.
Hall of Fame skateboard inductee for 2024. Musician,
Original
yeah.
one of the original snowboarders.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Pioneer skateboarder, and in August this year going into the Hall of Fame. So
All right.
it'll be fun. Jeanette, thanks again, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in on the Off Lip Radio Show. We'll see you next time. Woo!